What's up, guys? How the heck are you? Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan here. It is a Sunday, the 9th of May. Happy Mother's Day to you moms out there. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, enjoying whatever it is you want to enjoy on this Sunday. As for me, I was checking out a little NBA action. Miami Heat, Boston Celtics. I want to talk to you about this one. Want to also spend a few brief moments on the whole picture of things as far as the Heat go in the Eastern Conference heading into the postseason. Regular season ends in a week from the time I make this video. So that means the 16th is the last day, by the way, of the NBA regular season. If you do like the content of this particular video, you know what to do. You go ahead and hit that thumbs up. That would be awesome. Feel free to subscribe as well to my channel, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. Catch my podcast too. I do a little bit of that as well. I think you guys would enjoy that. It's on various platforms. Just search the same name, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. So let's get into it, guys. Pretty interesting stuff. As we went into the game itself between the Heat and the Celtics, I was thinking, as we were going in as fans, that the Celtics were going to come out just, and take it to us early and all that stuff. And I really thought going in, I gave us about a 50% chance to win, which I think was a logical way, at least, to go about it, because this really was, in a way, a must-win for Boston, who now falls 2 games behind the Heat with only 4 to go, as these teams are trying to avoid that play-in situation that started last year when the NBA started to do that. As far as you have a mini play-in series to technically get into although I guess you can call that the playoffs, but to get into the real playoffs. But the Heat came out, and I'll tell you what, let's talk about this game real quick, and then I'll get into the standings just for a few brief moments, and we'll take it one step at a time. How does that sound, guys? Nice lazy Sunday here in Florida. This time of year it gets nice and warm, very warm, and it kind of slows things down. Everyone kind of heads on their way. That we're visiting over the winter months, I tell you. But the Heat come through. Now that first half, was one of the better halves I had seen the Heat play, at least offensively, and probably altogether. They played a very, very good first half. If you're a Heat fan and you wanted a good glimpse of what this team is capable of doing, well, you should feel good about the way the Heat played in the first half. In the second half, it wasn't so much that the Heat just kind of didn't play well, although they didn't play quite as well as they did in the first half. I think it was a combination of just the Celtics showing a lot of grit, a lot of fortitude, coming back. Celtics get a lot of credit there, and sure, the Heat may have let up a little with the big lead. Nonetheless, what do we see time and time again, and we're hoping to see this in the playoffs time and time again, is Jimmy Butler creating either good shots for himself or for his teammates. He just has that knack to get to the basket. He's great driving into the towards the basket, creating good shots for himself and his teammates. And a lot of these games, really, if we want to just break it down, guys, it just comes down to that. It really does, and that's a good thing. If you're a Miami Heat fan, that's a really good thing. Butler would finish with 26 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, and 2 steals. So he almost had a triple-double. Trevor Ariza played really well, 19 and 4 for Trevor Ariza, 3 steals and a block. Let's talk about Bam. I want to talk about Bam and Duncan Robinson for a moment. They both showed Heat fans today that they have grown up in terms of being able to come through for the team in the clutch in big spots. Both of those players, Duncan had that huge 3 with a little over 2.5 minutes left. That was a tough shot. And Bam came through at the end. He hit that one that was above the foul line area, that not an easy shot, and that was in the closing minutes. Bam basically came out playing really good, and then he just kind of, chilled out there for a while. He just, due to substitutions and things of that nature, and wasn't quite as involved. And then the last few minutes, he just came on strong, just like he started off. So Bam would finish with 20, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Duncan would have 22. Duncan Robinson's come a long way this year, guys. He really has. I mean, he was good last year. He's a better player this year. 22 points, 3 rebounds. He added a steal. Kendrick Nunn was consistent, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. So just having Kendrick out there, the other team knows this guy can score. Kendrick can score. I mean, even if he doesn't have a great game offensively, or you look at the box score, you watch the game, and you're like, Kendrick had 10, 12, 13 points. Still, he's paying dividends for this team because you know what? They're focusing on him. The other team knows they can't leave Kendrick Nunn alone or unaccounted for because they will pay the price defensively. The Heat bench was very average. Goran Dragic, 9 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Tyler Hero, 12 points, 3 assists. Dwayne Dedmon, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists and a block. Not bad at all. Iguodala, as in Andre Iguodala, had 4 points, a rebound, and 3 assists. Well, guys, if your last name isn't Dragic, Hero, Dedmon, or Iguodala, you're not probably getting into the game anymore because that is the Heat rotation right now. Those are the 4 they're going with off the bench consistently lately. And if you're not in that group of 4 players, the only time you're going to see on the court, they have 2 words to describe that. It's called garbage time, folks. So that is basically how I would see the Heat going into the playoffs. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm just kind of pointing that out to you guys, the viewers. That's the rotation right there, barring an injury or, someone just not 100% or something like that. Jayson Tatum played fantastic. So the Celtics had 2 guys that really played well. Jayson Tatum and Evan Fournier. Tatum 29, 5, and 6. A steal and 2 blocks. Evan Fournier 30 points. Game high 30. 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and a block. Robert Williams, they don't really, they don't really count on him much offensively. But he's a good defender, and he's one of those guys, he gives them a lot of intangibles. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Kemba Walker, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. He's tough. He's a tough player to guard. He creates problems. He created some problems today for the Heat. Marcus Smart, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Marcus Smart played really well. He had a couple of really nice moves. Going to the basket, around the rim. He's got a really good game. He's got a nice career ahead of him, and he's just a strong, strong player for the Celtics. Tristan Thompson, he's always going to factor in on the boards, guys. I mean, he doesn't. Some games you ever notice, like Tristan Thompson will give you like 14, 15 points. This wasn't one of them. He only scored 2 points, but then he still becomes a huge factor on the boards. 12 rebounds and a steal. Aaron Nesmith, 16 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Carson Edwards, let's just round out the box score here real quick, guys. 5 points, 2 rebounds. Grant Williams, 2 points, a rebound, and assist. Peyton Pritchard, limited time, a rebound, and assist. Luke Comet, I hope I got that right, would score 2 points off the Celtic bench. The Celtics are one of those teams, though, guys, that if the Heat were to play them in a 7-game series, which I don't think is going to happen, just the way things are breaking down here as we head towards the end of the regular season, the Heat would have a tough time against the Celtics in an actual playoff type series because the Celtics are just very physical. They're big and rugged type team. And they're deep in that manner too, meaning they can go deep into their bench and they can pretty much match up with anyone when it comes to the categories of rebounding, just being tough underneath, tough defense underneath. So that's something, fortunately, the Heat aren't going to probably have to worry about. We'll see. Watch, I'm going to probably jinx the whole situation, and in some weird way, they're going to play each other with like the second round or something. I don't know. All right, so the game totals here. Both teams shot the ball really well. Now, the Heat, a few final thoughts for you. The Heat did really well moving the ball, especially in the first half. A lot of backdoor cuts, creating a lot of easy baskets. And for that, I mean, they finished the game 57% shooting, a little over 57%. And Boston was good too, a little over 54%. Both teams executing really well offensively. From three, the Heat were really good, 16 for 35. That's going to get you almost 46%. That's really good. The Celtics were not bad, 14 for 38, about 37%. For three, that's that's okay. Free throws, both teams shot well from the free throw line. See, so this was not a sloppy game at all. Both teams were on their game. They were playing hard. I mean, 130, 124 will tell you. I mean, a lot of scoring. Heat were 20 for 22. Feel good about that, Heat fans. That's about 90, just under 91%. So if you want to feel really good about something, that would be in addition to the fact that they held their own on the glass. Boston was 20 for 25, not bad, 80%. Rebounds, pretty much even. The Heat actually out-rebounded the Celtics in this 35-34. It was virtually even. That's another thing, Heat fans, you want to feel really good about. And the battle of the turnovers, the Heat always seem to lately, and this is good, but this is a good sign, they're winning the turnover battle by a little bit in each of these games. In this case, they turned over Boston 14 times. They would only turn it over 11. So, as a fan, as a viewer, I sat here on a Sunday and I enjoyed this one, guys. This is a pretty good one. Entertaining game, a lot of scoring. Again, 130, 124. I'll catch up with you guys a little later in the week. Don't forget, these two teams go at it again Tuesday night. I believe this is also in Boston. Now for the, there was one more thing. If you're still around, hopefully you are. With the win, the Heat now are tied with Atlanta at 37 and 31. And they pulled 2 games ahead, as I mentioned, of the Celtics, who are 35 and 33. The Knicks are playing the Clippers as I make this video, as I put together this video. If the Knicks were to lose, not sure if they will, but if they do lose to the Clippers, that means you got the Heat, the Hawks, and the Knicks, all with identical records, 37-31. Think about that. Leave me a comment. Talk to you real soon. Bye for now.